Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Me and My Motorcycle, or TripleM. The purpose of the channel is to document my forthcoming trip to Norway on my bike. I'm going on my own, starting on the 17th of June, and the reason for the channel, the purpose for it, is to just document where I go, what I see, the things that I do, and make that available pretty well in real time. I'm hoping to upload videos on most days. I'll be away for 18 days so that my friends and family and anyone else who's interested can see where I am and see the things that I see and share the trip with me, because it's going to be something new, something I've never done before, something quite exciting, and I hope that others will enjoy following me as I go through this trip. So in a moment we'll just start by having a look at the map and my proposed route. It's all booked. I've got my ferries booked and my Airbnb accommodation, and we'll have a look at that and you'll see where I'm going, and we'll talk through some of the things that I'm hoping to see and do while I'm there. So here's the map of the first part of the journey. On the morning of the 17th of June I'll start from home and ride eastwards around London and end up in Harwich in the evening, where I'll get on a ferry and cross the North Sea, which takes about 9 or 10 hours, and arrive at the Hook of Holland at 8 in the morning local time on the 18th. From there I've got quite a long day's ride through Holland into Germany and up to Hamburg, which is my first overnight stop in Europe, and that's quite a reasonable distance. That's 509 kilometres roughly. All the distances are in kilometres because of working with the sat nav whilst I'm overseas. Just too much mental arithmetic to work in miles. And from there I go directly north to the northern tip of Denmark, and for that we'll change to a larger scale map. Okay, so here's a bigger scale map, and it shows the whole of my route. I've done each day in a different colour of highlighter to make it easier for me actually to keep track of where I was going when I was planning, working out where I was going to stop and stay over and how long I was going to stay in each place. So here's Hamburg, where I got to on the first day, which we saw on the other map, and then the next day is another quite long drive all the way up to the north of Denmark, through Germany into the northern point of Denmark pretty well, a place called Herschel, so that's 520 odd kilometres, another quite long day as I say, and then an evening ferry, only a couple of hours trip across to the southernmost tip of Norway, to Kristiansand, not to be confused with Kristiansund, which is some way further north. And then I've got an Airbnb to stay in at Kristiansand. The following day I get on my bike again and go to Stavanger, which is the sort of oil capital, I believe, of Norway. Looks like stunning scenery here, diverting off the main road a bit to go down by the coast, starting to see the fjords appearing, and Stavanger is really at the beginning of all that incredible water and scenery that goes all the way up the west coast of Norway. So that's not too bad a ride. That's about 240 kilometres on that day, and then I start to work my way through all this incredible landscape. And there's quite a lot. You won't see it on the video because it's too far away, but there's a lot of islands. There's ferries and bridges across some of the straits between them. So I've given myself quite a bit of time to do that. I'm only doing 130 kilometres that day to this little place here called Lervik. And then the following day even less, going up to Bergen, which apparently, according to the Lonely Planet guide, is one of the most beautiful cities anywhere. That's a day where I'm just doing about 80 or 90 kilometres. By the way, I'm staying a couple of days in each of these places, staying a couple of days in Bergen. And then once I've done some sightseeing around there, I'm heading east and coming down, that green line shouldn't have been there, coming down here, and at this point we're in a district called Hardanger, which has got quite a lot of quite a folk tradition. And as a kid, I remember seeing something about an amazing violin, the Hardanger violin, which is a highly decorated folk version of the fiddle, and it's got 4 extra strings which go under the fingerboard and resonate and make quite an extraordinary sound. So I'm planning to stop off at a folk museum here, which is why I'm taking a bit of a detour, and then staying for 2 nights in a place called Odder, which has at another Airbnb, which is hosted by someone who's a motorcyclist, which will be interesting. She's going to be able to point out all the good roads and best routes, I hope. She sounds really nice. I've had a few emails back and forth with her already. And then another long day going to Oslo after 2 nights at Odder, a long day to Oslo, which is about 350 kilometres, and some of this road is across, it's quite mountainous, I think, and across glacier. Good roads though, which hopefully will be relatively good to ride on for a distance. And fetch up in Oslo, which is the capital, another amazing city, lots of culture there apparently, scenically incredible. Spending 3 days in Oslo, and then getting on another ferry all the way down here to Copenhagen in Denmark. That's a 17-hour ferry trip, again an overnighter, so I don't have to get a accommodation when I arrive. And so I arrive in Copenhagen first thing in the morning and go across Denmark, across this bridge here, the name of which eludes me. I think it's called, no, never mind, let's not guess. It's a bridge which then goes into a tunnel, and is apparently scenic, amazing looking place. A lot of people who've been there say how incredible it is. And then across to Kolding in Denmark and down to Hamburg. So that's quite a long day's ride again. The Copenhagen to Hamburg is nearly 500 kilometres. Staying again in Hamburg, not in the same place as I did on the way here, on the way out rather, because the person with whom I'm staying on that occasion will be having a baby roughly at that time, so she wasn't available. But I found somewhere else. And then it's a case of retracing my steps from Hamburg back to the Hook of Holland, and then from ferry across to Harwich, and then the final day ride home from Harwich to home. So that's it, that's my 18 days. I've done as much planning as I think I can. I don't want to do too much because I want to be able to respond to what I see and enjoy what I'm doing, and I've made sure that I'm not doing, although I've got a few quite long days, once I'm there I'm going to be able to take my time, soak in the wonders of this extraordinary landscape, which I've seen pictures, and everyone I say who's been there that I know says what an amazing place it is. And interestingly, in the Lonely Planet Guide again, this district, this kind of south and southwestern part of Norway, is the area that it says if you can only visit one region in Norway, visit that one, which is quite interesting because obviously further north you get the Aurora Borealis, more incredible landscape on the coast, fjords and so on. But apparently this is such a rich landscape in terms of scenery and history. It's the place to go if you're not going anywhere else. So there we go, that's my trip to Norway. So that's it for this first video on my channel, me and my motorcycle, TripleM. Thank you very much for watching, really appreciate you taking the time. I'd also really appreciate it if you have any comments or thoughts or suggestions to make, any feedback at all, if you put them in the comments section below. It'd be really valuable to me, trying to make sure that I do this as well as I can. I'll be doing another video shortly. I've started recording it already, which is about some of the changes I've made to the bike, things that I'm doing to help the trip go smoothly and make sure I take with me what I need to and not things that I don't need. So I'll, if you click on the bell icon, which I hope will appear beneath this this video, that will, I hope, give you an alert, a notification whenever a new video goes live. So try that, see if it works. Let me know if it does or if it doesn't. So thanks again and see you next time. Bye bye.